Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Tigers TV. I'm your host, Alex Carmichael, and today we have for you Beck versus Tigers, played in February of 2018. So without further ado, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the gameplay. Beck starting with the ball, Kieran Hicks off early, looking for that explosive start. There's Amy Swain out to Heather Rikwamisi for an early shot, and Trojans, Beck, going to be leading an early 1-0. Tigers, though, looking for the return in. There's Rory Haven off the line. Goes to the shot up, but Dav Patel is going to be able to beat out Chris West there on the rebound. Both teams looking for that fast start, put them in the lead early. As Billy Ashby sets up the feed. There's the crossover. Amy Swain off the pass from Heather Rikwamisi. Almost a tip-in off the one-hander. We won't count that towards our regular missed one-hander score, but Tigers finally going to be able to turn over the ball. And they are going to be back in attack, looking for an opportunity. There's Rory off the back. Leah Matthews, we've seen her work some magic from far out on the field so far this season. But Dav Patel with a great read. Beautiful intercept. That's going to get sent out to Hicks. And then Billy Ashby off the back. There's Amy Swain again, setting up that feed already twice in about the space of 2 minutes. There's the shot from Hicks, and it drops. Beck with a 2-0 lead. The initial first two, the burst of speed there, really a testament to their agility and korfball ability. The last time we saw these two teams match up, we had a monumental score of 36-8 in favour of Beck. So whether they're going to be able to replicate that with such certainty remains to be seen. Tigers obviously keen not to have a repeat of such an absolute thrashing. But Dav Patel from range 3-0 to Beck so far. They are storming into the lead in the early minutes of the game. Here's Daisy Llewellyn. There's the feed. Good attempt there from Toby Clark. But travelling called on Daisy. Beck ball. Going to be working that one out fairly easily. Billy and Kieran working quite well together. There's Andy Hall off the back to Dav Patel for the rebound. There's a great pickup from Caitlin Fitzgerald, and Andy Hall to secure for a 4-0 lead. Huge stuff coming out of Beck right now. It is worth mentioning, by the way, last time we saw these two teams match up, they did have Ben King playing for Beck, the England captain, the current England adult team captain. Not going to be playing with him today, so is going to be a slightly different roster. We'll have to see how they can cope, and can Tigers make some use of that. Great pressure from Toby Clark, really trying to keep up with those long legs of Kieran Hicks. Heather Rikwamisi going to miss the easy runner. Gets the return, doesn't quite find the drop-off. There's the feed out from Amy Swain. Quick pass to Billy. Not going to be able to work his magic though. Amy Swain, plenty of time on the clock, going to put the shot up. And there's a great bit of post work from the boys there, running the block. Girls set up early out front. Tigers guys are significantly shorter than their opponents, so they are going to struggle somewhat in this matchup. That's potentially a sign for the Beck girls to have much more open shots, or many more open shots rather, than Tigers would perhaps like them to have. There's the runner from Amy Swain, not going to go, and Toby Clark finally able to secure that for Tigers. Those boys are going to be working long and hard under the post today. There's a long ball over. Intercept almost there from Helen West, but not quite. Here's Leah Matthews from range. Can she start it? There it is. Tigers starting to finally find some ground in. Leah so keen. She already wants to get back into defense, but nope. A 4-1 lead so far for Beck. Here's the runner from Heather Rikwamisi. Beck just so athletic with the little foot fakes. There's another score. 5-1. Beck storming into the lead. Very, very similar so far to their initial matchup. Goes without saying, Beck is almost undisputedly one of the best teams in the league, but free pass awarded. Just a bit of a block off on the runner, I believe. Josh Dawes to take. There's the pass out from Alex Zenz. Can he make it? Unfortunately, not quite. As Josh almost had the free pass. Just wasn't quite able to make it count. But as I was saying, Beck, almost arguably one of the best, if not the best teams in England, winning the Europa Shield in 2017. Sadly, they did miss out on that year, losing to Adler Raxor of Germany. but coming a second, respectable second. So we are expecting big things from these guys. There's Josh Dawes. Young England star, known to make magic happen from distance. There we go. There's another attempt. Caitlin Fitzgerald puts the shot up. West scrambling to recover. Caitlin looking for the run over the step back. Leah wasn't quite there. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing Dav a lot under the post, making it tough for Rory. And it looks like we just had a bit of a jump cut. Tigers ball, though. Still, as far as I know, 5-2 in favour of Beck. There's a shot from Daisy. It's a good attempt. But again, these Beck lads are really got it on lock under the post. Andy Hall sinks one. 6-2. This is really quite the start for Becky. This is going to be getting them confident. Moving not even into the second half here, just into the halfway point of the first half. There's Rory having for a great move off the drop-off. Not quite going to find it. Chris West knows better to try and challenge that. Dav well in advance for that rebound. Amy Swain dropping in the feed, or dropping to the feed rather. Kieran Hicks. Heather Kwamisi taking another one. Isn't quite going to find it. There comes the step forward from Billy Ashby, but he's going to lock down the post. Toby Clark doing his best. It is a real struggle. There's the one-hander from Amy Swain. The first of our one-handers missed for today. We will be keeping a close eye on the number that we do see in total. Ref just giving the caution to watch the contact under the post. And Tiger's going to win that one out. So Tigers actually, I think they do have some subs over on that bench. I notice one familiar face, Liv Harcourt, not with the team today. Rory with a great drop on Andy Hall. And Chris West botches the one-hander. Tries for the second. It's defended. We won't count it. But almost had free reign with that one. Unfortunately, wasn't able to sink it. 2 one-handers missed for 2 so far. Long shot from Billy. There's Amy out to Heather. Kieran for the no-looker reverse pass. It's a bold one. Just slow enough that Billy could run and rescue it. Again, just a little bit sloppy on that the back end of that play there from Beck. I think they were trying to be a little bit too fancy. Not really giving Tigers quite enough respect. Unlucky there from Francis Willerton. But yeah, Liv Harcourt not travelling with the team today. Instead, Jenny Adamson on the bench. Alex Zen's in the starting roster. There's the shot attempt from Kieran Hicks. Amy Swain to put the return up. It is just going to bounce off. Heather, great positioning. Beck just showing that all their players can do it all pretty much. But Alex Zen's right place, right time to scoop that one up for Tigers. Leah, she knows. We know rather, she likes to try and sell this shot fake and then take it. But Rory for the drop-off is going to try and close the gap. 3-6. Beck still with a 3-goal lead. But Tigers have been in this position before. Heather Kwamisi just dropping off the front. Josh to Billy to Toby. Didn't quite work out how Beck wanted. But Tigers still got the result they were looking for. Again, we often see Leah get trapped out really quite far away from the post. That's just a slightly stray pass. Rory maybe dropped the shoulder one way and then faked it the other. But Beck going to be able to regain possession without too much real stress. There's Billy on the line for the pass in from Dav. Amy Swain again playing that auxiliary role so well, but also showing she's able to attack. That's the great thing about some of the Beck players is they really are able to play pretty much anywhere. I mean, Korfball, as most of our regular viewers will know, doesn't really have a huge amount of definition to the roles. But some players do lend themselves to being collectors. Some players do lend themselves to being auxiliary. Some are the star shooters. But Beck just showcasing everything. Free pass awarded. Quite possibly some pushing on the post. Toby Clark bullied clear of the post there by Kieran Hicks. Just going to give it a once over. Heather Kwamisi not even going to attempt it. Instead, just passing out to Billy. Billy able to get the rebound on his own shot there. It bounced so hard. Amy Swain trying to get the runner. Two hands. Doesn't go in. The follow-up's not good. Heather out to Amy. This is the closest the shot clock has come to running out. Tigers really have to pour on the pressure. They're not going to let it... Well, they are going to let one through the net. And Josh is going to be able to win that tip-off. Kieran just coming over from behind. Ref's called that. Sees that's not on. And Tigers now. Chris, again, trying to take up this post position. I'm not sure in the long run how successful this is going to be. Tigers playing with, on balance, a shorter team than Beck. So it is always going to be a bit of an uphill struggle in terms of rebound work. But you're going to be trying to make the best of a bad situation. I wonder if Tigers have thought to try and, I think it's Dutchy, Francis Willerton, the most equally matched, perhaps use some of the girls as rebounders instead of the guys. Toby Clark, great pressure, reads the ball over the top. Heather Rickamisi for the feed. There's the shot from Billy Ashby. And it is going to drop short. Toby, some great speed we've seen from him already. Absolutely hounding that ball down. Here's Rory. Again, Chris just sticking in that early post. Leah for the turn. It's a really hasty shot. Andy looks like he's playing volleyball there, just smacking it away. Luckily for Beck, it just about works. Leah with the opportunity. Great movement, but it just didn't quite come through for her. Now Beck once more in attack. Alex ends with the trailing hand. Heather Ikwamisi bouncing it off the post. Not really sure if that was a shot or attempted pass or what. Maybe this is some rare new Beck strategy to try and not get the solo play called. A sideways runner, two hands, is good. 7-3 as Beck lead. Jerem, our fantastic cameraman, just double checking that the score has been updated. Hopefully the table will be able to get around to doing that. Good rebound from Kieran. Oh, Chris on the line. Almost able to save it. I'm not quite sure Toby was aware of what was happening. Almost a heroic attempt. I think there's the flip from the table. 7-3, just get confirmation. So thank you, Jerem, for raising that question in pre-production. Dav going to be looking a long way out. Andy Hall coming round. Again, Chris struggling to get past those long limbs. Francis Wilson putting on great pressure. The putback is there, but fantastic defensive work from Francis Willerton to block out the shot from, I believe, Helen West. Might have been Catherine Fitzgerald. We may have seen a switch there. Josh Dawes with a beautiful pass in the air. Oh, it's tragic. Such a beautiful shot. Great setup. Just bounces out. Not going to be too happy with that one, but he will have his other chances. Shot goes up. There's Catherine Fitzgerald on the inside. Andy Hall for the step back. Dav getting a little bit physical. Going to cut across Francis Willerton, but it is going to go good. That's going to be 8-3 so far for Beck. Last game they played, Tigers scored 8. They've already got 3 of those previous 8. So will they be able to continue and try and show Beck that they can put something good on? But Heather Ikwamisi, great game sense. Stepping in front, covering that feed off. Good front defense we're seeing. Andy Hall, all arms on that shot. Just pulling it a bit too hard rather than extending through the legs. Catherine to Andy. There's the run around. The switch. Beautiful team play all around from Beck. Chris just going to take a dive. 9-3 as Jerem has so kindly reminded us. But Beck just showing us that they can coordinate. They've got that solid team chemistry. Nothing less. We would expect such displays from Europa Shield winners and this year's runners-up. Tigers just going to take a timeout. I don't believe we've seen any substitutions as of yet from either team. Going to be sticking with their starting rosters for now. Leah Matthews coming out. 2 seconds. That's a two-handed runner. And it is airballed by Chris West. Not going to be pleased with that. Had the chance to reset the clock. Or score, really. Had the run around on Dav there. Billy almost not going to get the control, but manages to pick it up before Toby gets there. Now Amy off to Kieran. Kieran for the drop-off. We've seen him very confident around the post. But the pre-jump from Toby just a little bit too early. Great air time. It just wasn't quite the right positioning. Daisy almost took one to the head, but was able to avoid it. And it's just bounced off her feet. Play on. Football, but Beck regained possession. Heather off to Amy Swain. The drop ball. Going to appeal to the ref, but nothing doing. It was just a fumble. Daisy able to pick that up. Well within reason. Rory off the back. Bit quieter than some previous games we've seen him in. Has got a couple. One-handed attempt, but it's defended, so we won't count it. If you are new to our broadcast, then every week we like to play a game called How Many One-Handers Are Missed by each team. As I'm talking, Billy fires one in, 10-3 for Beck. But every week, every broadcast, we count how many one-handed shots are missed by our korfball players, both on Tigers and whoever they may be playing. Heather Rikomisi trying the best to put the skates on Alex Zenz, but Zenz staying very zen in a way, staying calm and able to follow it through. There's Rory for the turnaround, just rolls off the front, all the way over the top and trickles off the back. Beck having put on a convincing display so far. Heather in the feed. Beck choosing not to go for a single-gendered approach, using both boys and girls to do both roles. Kieran Hicks getting a little bit hasty on the attempted block. Almost had it, but just got faked out a bit early. Again, Leah Matthews floating from range. We've seen her move in occasionally for that auxiliary role. I think she is much more comfortable on the outside when she has her shooting range. Rory, there's the drive. There's the one-hander. It is missed. No defended called. Great pressure from Andy Hall. We're up to a total of 3 one-handers missed so far this game. There's the runner. Heather just working so effortlessly on offense. Trying to confuse and just outpace her defender as much as possible. Almost got away with it that time, but not quite. Toby going to try and hustle, but Amy Swain well there. They're well in advance. There's the attempt. Penalty awarded. Daisy thought it was clean. Ref clearly didn't. Kieran Hicks to take. Attempt here for Beck to pull even further into the lead. 11-3. Tigers are taking a pretty early hammering so far. We haven't seen... we have seen some good things from them. It's just that their chances aren't quite coming to fruition in the way they would like them to. It is not that Tigers are playing badly, it is just that Beck are playing extremely well. Obviously, playing in the Europa Cup in January, still pretty much fresh off that. Rory there first. Helen West just wasn't quite quick enough to get to that one. But Beck still firmly in the lead. 8-goal deficit for Tigers to try and scramble to make up. Heather Rikomisi getting there early, reading the play, knows that the feed is there. Tigers perhaps getting a bit predictable in their attack. Need to shake it up, need to spice it up a little bit. There's the drop from Helen West. Dav with the rebound. Caitlin Fitzgerald trying for the runner. Feed is there from West. Andy Hall for the step back. Chris West going to get well and truly dropped, but travelling called. No goal. Andy Hall gutted about that one. Beck this year actually using new coaches. Dave Buckland, old head coach at Beck, resigned. Penalty awarded. Daisy tried to cut through. Amy Swain with the body block. Josh Dawes to try and score here. Is going to take it. Tigers 4-11. Finally some good news for them. Dave Buckland resigned last year as head coach, now being replaced by John Denton and Graham Box, with John as Beck's new head coach. So perhaps a change in leadership could mean a new Beck for the new year. Josh just taking his time. Alexander's off the back. Heather dropping pretty far off. Toby trying his best against Kieran, but that's a real hard battle to win with all that extra height to factor in. Neither team, I believe we've had one shot clock violation so far from that missed one-hander off Chris West. Going to get the rebound as well. Good stuff from him. Both teams playing to time. That's the level we're expecting now from the Prem League. That's not really what Chris was looking for. He tries for the blam, but Caitlin Fitzgerald, the intercept on the line. 12-4 now. Beck are really powering on ahead so far. Chris just getting a little bit lax there in the last, in the tail end of that play. And Caitlin just trying to appear as incognito as possible on the line. Managed to get a fantastic pickup. But Tigers still very much in with a chance on this attack. Again, they do find themselves struggling with the clock a little bit. Leah is pretty much being boxed out here by Caitlin. Again, height differential playing a big part. There's the shot from Rory. It's going to bounce off. Helen West takes one to the shoulder. Shocked her more than anything else. But in the end, Dav able to scoop it up, send it back to Beck. Heather with a beautiful pirouette on the pass. Didn't really accomplish much, but nice looking move. Again, the problem with the 360 for stability is it doesn't really progress your offense much. It just gives your defender time to react. But good follow on the runner. Lovely stuff there from Heather. We've seen the first game they played. She was a standout player again there for Beck, scoring a hell of a lot of goals for that 36-8 win. We're seeing that again. Chris going to let that one trickle off the back all the way over the top for Rory. It's a bit too hard even for Rosa to try and get. Unfortunately, that is just going to sway back once more into Beck. There's Amy Swain, not going to shoot. Fakes the shot, goes for the runner. Daisy staying with her as much as she possibly can. Gives away another penalty. Unfortunate there for Daisy. Doing everything she can to try and stop it, but Amy Swain just had the better lane. Kieran Hicks knew from the moment he took that one, that was going nowhere. Quick to follow it. Try and recover. Here's the redemption shot, and it's good. That really is the redemption shot there from Kieran. Knew he fudged the penalty. Able to recover. Turn it around within about 5 seconds. And take the shot anyway. There's Josh Dawes off the back. Fast. Mobile play there. That's what we really need to see more of from Tigers. They get a bit static sometimes, a bit bogged down. And against a pretty free-flowing team like Beck, they can't really allow that to happen. Need to keep some flexibility in their plays. If they can... I mean, that's what we've seen. The times they have broken free, gone for the drop-offs, they have actually managed to drop the Beck players on defense. Alex Zenz goes for the one-hander, is defended. We won't count it. I'm sure you guys are starting to get a feel for the rules at home. But so far, this has been a pretty good game in terms of the number of one-handers missed. Only 3. 3 for 3. None scored. But pretty low numbers compared to some previous attempts. Andy Hill trying to get the drop on Chris West. There's the shot from Caitlin Fitzgerald all the way over the top. Dav actually hasn't shot, I believe, in about the last 10 minutes. So Dav definitely taking on a much more passive rebounding role. Rory with a great step forward, though, to try and cut off that play. There's Alex Zenz. There's the one-hander. That one uncontested is going to be hitting our tally. 4 one-handers missed out of a possible 4 taken. Shot from Caitlin Fitzgerald. 15-4. I've got a little echo going on. A big thanks, as always, to Jaron Dawes, Julie Dawes, as well as our camera team and production staff. always doing a great job going out to the matches and filming for us. So we really do appreciate all the effort they put in. And of course, all of the players who take the time out of their lives to come and play. Caitlin Fitzgerald absolutely on fire though. Really lovely stuff from her today. About 3 in the last, well, I want to say 3 minutes, but maybe slightly more. Convincing figures so far. The stats are not lying today. Leah Matthews again trying to sell that shot fake really quite early on. Has a bit more time than that, but Rosa with an absolute stonker. Finally going to put Tigers up on the board. 5-16. It's not a great look, but they're already 5 out of 8 on their last game. 3 more and they will have equalised their last performance, which they weren't really that chuffed about. Here's Chris West. Here's Dutchie for the runner. Not contested. Is not just gonna. It's not really gonna hit the mark. Unfortunate there from Frances Woolerton. Shot from Kieran Hicks. Billy Ashby immediately on that rebound work. And Toby Clark with some fantastic hustle. Kieran waving to the bench, knowing he should have positioned slightly better for that. Maybe put a bit more effort into that one. That's alright. Plenty of other opportunities, I'm sure. Again, Leah stuck out front. Doesn't really have a lot of options. But there's Rory. Great agility. Finally able to drop Andy Hall. It's the right move. And he keeps taking the shot, which is excellent. He's just waiting for it to drop. Tigers doing well to hold off on the defense. But just slowing down slightly on offense. There's finally Leah starting to shoot from range. Doesn't hit the first one. Just getting her eye in. The motion is for Rory to keep on the move. It does like it's going to be Tigers' best chance. But Andy Hall using those long arms to his advantage. Sees the play. Understands what Tigers are trying to do. And that's, I think, a great asset that Beck have. Is their almost unrivaled knowledge of the game. Loads of these players playing at national, international level. Great depth and understanding. Great game IQ. Which is really kind of what allows them to outplay in the manners that they do. With their reads on the game and their predictive plays. And that does factor in as well to some of the slightly more crazy team plays we've seen with the reverse no-looker over the head passes. They know where they expect their teammates to be, so that can make that kind of stuff a reality. Great jump from Josh, isn't quite going to be able to get it out against Billy. Shot from Heather, resets the clock just as it was dwindling to 2 seconds. Tigers going to have to keep working. There's Billy. Just we do love it sometimes when we get some casual commentary from our gallery. Amy Swain took the shot. I believe that was a one-hander. We'll add it to the tally. Correct me if I'm wrong. But just turned away. Didn't think to look at the rebound. Bounced off her back and Daisy able to scoop that one up. Yay! Rosa doing work today. Putting on a performance. I believe we've seen 3 or 4 of the Tigers' goals come from him out of a possible 6. And they are getting ever closer to that previous 8. So maybe we see them start off a bit sluggish in the first half. Maybe they ramp it up somewhat in the second. Because if they can hit that 8, they know they can prove to themselves that they can take goals off Beck. Who we've already known. One of, if not the best teams in the UK. Currently unbeaten in the Premier League, or National League, whichever you prefer. So a lot, not so much on the line for Beck right now. A comfortable margin so far. 10 goals, 16 to 6. Shot. Does it count? We're just going to check. Great attempt from Helen West. I do Do not believe that counted, unfortunately. Ref had already blown the whistle. Looked great. Didn't quite get the buzzer beater in, though. Second half. We're looking for a revitalised Tigers. They've had their break. Toby Clark, fantastically energetic off the start. We're hoping to see Tigers turn this one around. Maybe not hit the win. That might be a bit of a pipe dream. We've seen the kind of performances Beck can put on. We know what they're capable of. Oh, there's the one-hander from Dav Patel. It looked so great. The windmill into the sky hook. But sadly, close but no cigar. 6 one-handers missed, and that was the most beautiful miss I think we've seen to date on Tigers TV. Josh with a great pickup. Daisy going to try and tip it. But Josh working so hard, just wasn't quite able to get his feet around where he wanted them. And Beck, once again, are going to be the ones in control. There's the shot from Andy Hall. But Rory, well positioned for that one. Underarm pass is going to work. Some korfball coaches would tell you never to do that one. But it has its uses from time to time. Toby Clark, great jump. Daisy trying for the run round. Heather Okumisi, no switch. And Daisy is going to find the runner. 7-16. Now we're starting to see Tigers perk up a little bit. They've had their halftime break. They've had a chance to regroup. Already used a timeout. No cigar there for Caitlin Fitzgerald. Andy Hall, again, really has to cull this volleyball habit he seems to have. Just patting it away. Is luckily able to recover it, though, with the help of his comrades in the defensive half. Really needed to take that shot. They do not have the chance. I think Caitlin Fitzgerald with the one-hander just tossed it at the bucket. Able to get the shot clock reset, but Rory for the rebound. I'm going to count that as a one-hander because the intention was to aim at the bucket. And Josh Dawes with a beautiful reversal. That's 8-17 now, I believe. Oh no, 7-16. Okay. That seems like an interesting number. We'll check with the table in just a moment. Some interesting plays. Jerem obviously getting into it from the sideline. It is 16-8. No, we are correct. Excellent. Table just taking some time to update. Looks like we do see some players on the far side, potentially for warming up for the second match of the day. There's Oscar Edwards, close side, or rather far side on the right. And Ross Thompson both getting warm, potentially seeing some substitutes soon. In the meantime, Beck still hammering away at this defense. Haven't had as much fortune in the second half so far as they had in the first. In fact, no goals scored since the first half. And still going to stay that way. Toby Clark with the rebound. Josh going to work it out. Francis on the outside. There's the long ball to Rory. I think we have seen a defensive switch. Dav actually switching on to Rory and Andy sticking with Chris instead. Maybe this is the way for Beck to counter the athletic Rory Haffen. There's the switch. Chris West from the car park. Can he make it? He's going to bounce off. Gets the shot clock reset, though. That's an incredibly well-played scenario from Tigers. Knew they had to do something. Chris West went for the shot. Wasn't hugely likely to score it from that far out. But managed to get the reset. Gets the second chance. 8 left. There's Francis. Gets the reset again, but Dav not even going to exert himself for that one. Chris West not jumping. I think he knows that is a somewhat futile fight. But Amy Swain for the finish. 17-8. If Tigers aren't able to pull something else out of the hat. Oh, 17-9 I've got on the table. I may have missed one. My apologies, folks. I'm not sure that is 17-9. Well, we'll check in a moment and see how that goes. But Dav just about able to tip it away. Kieran Hicks on the line to try and pick up. Heather to Amy, to Billy, to Kieran. All the way back round to Heather. Nice 4-0. Now sticking in the collect. There's the 3-1 off the back. Josh isn't quite close enough. They're playing for time here. Beck need a shot soon. Toby with great pressure, and Josh able to step in at the last second. Tigers finally managing to whittle down the Beck offense. And so we have a few choice words from Jerem there, just under his breath. Rory thought that went off his foot. Ref didn't see it. Chris West for the drop. Sends it sky high. Saw that looming arm of Dav there. But Leah is able to step up to the plate. And Tigers. I think we do have a 17-10 scoreline. We are all caught up. Rory well aware of what's coming in there. The fast play all the way over the back has been used as a bit of a trick play with varying degrees of success over the years. Here's Dav sticking the feed there. Helen looking for Caitlin. There she is. Shot's good. Jobs are good. And as that makes our scoreline 18-10. Ref's just gone over to check. Made a substitution. Substitution coming out. 2 substitutions, I believe. And I will just double check this for you guys. We have Blake Palfreyman and Chloe Swain. Chloe Swain coming on for Caitlin Fitzgerald. Blake Palfreyman swapping out for Dav Patel. Josh off to Zenz. Alex Zenz looking for the pass over. Here comes Daisy around the side. Again, Tigers playing a little bit static. The feed does seem to be there preemptively almost. And that's locking in the defense, giving them that opportunity. There's Kieran Hicks for the dive in. And it is going to work out. Andy Hall. There's Blake. Takes the shot. Here's Chloe. First shot on the field. Blake and Chloe both missing the first one, obviously. Perhaps still taking time to dial it in. There's Blake for the one-hander. It's a good one. There we go. Blake Palfreyman 1 for 2 on the pitch. And it's a one-hander that isn't missed. So far, 6 missed one-handers. 1 of them scored. We are at a 1 for 7 scoring ratio this week. Leah Matthews from range. Almost finding it. But going to get immediately swept out by Blake Palfreyman. Heather Kamisi out front, putting the speed on. Kieran Hicks, second time this game he's tried for that no-looker pass over the back. I think Billy was amused, but also slightly concerned that we're seeing the same mistake more than once, especially when it's a slightly bizarre choice to make in terms of logical play. Maybe for style points, but we haven't quite implemented that scoring system for Korfball just yet. Here's Rosa trying for the runner. It's the off-balance fade. Sadly, not going to find anything there. Tigers, actually, we've only just caught up on the score. 10 goals. They've managed to overcome that 8 goals they scored in the first game. Josh Dawes putting in a great effort against Kieran Hicks. They're able to win it out with the help of Toby Clark. As Tigers have conquered that 8-goal scoreline, they are moving on above. There's Leah Matthews, takes the shot. And the boys working out back. But the problem is, with Beck, boys right there behind you, easily available for the switch. That's always a tough play to try and create. Rory just charging into the post. I don't know if the ball was blocked by a body there. Potentially Andy Hall doubling up. But play is going to continue. Shot from Hicks. Ashby to rebound off the back of Daisy Llewellyn. Ball out to Amy Swain. But Josh Dawes stepping it up a gear late on in the game. Already hitting that second half. Especially with two teams that are So mobile, so athletic. Players do start to tire. They are putting in a huge amount of work to maintain this level of pressure, this defense, this offense. And players do start to flag, but Josh Dawes maintaining excellent standards here as Heather Rukumisi fires another one deep into the back of the court for a 19-10 scoreline. Beck seeming to maintain this 9-10 goal deficit, or lead rather. Tigers struggling to combat it. There's the shot fake from Leah Matthews. It's a bit of a hasty shot. I think we all know she can shoot better than that. We have seen her put some absolutely fantastic shots on target. I think she's just rushing herself unnecessarily. But Alex Zenz with a great hand forward to block that one out. Frances Woollerton trapped in the feed, facing no one it seems. Just trying to get the turnaround. There she go. Now she has options. There's Leah for the drop. Not quite. 10 seconds on the clock. Rosa for the attempt. Isn't quite able to get it. Here he comes back round again. Got the reset though. That's what they need. Rory and Francis out on the outside. Rory trying to get that step through, but Blake Palfreman ready to cover on the switch. Chris West finally trying to get good position on the post. Or finally able to get good position rather. But Blake still manages to find the right side of that rebound. Hicks in the feed. Amy Swain and Heather Rukumisi working so well as a team out the front. Here's Heather Rukumisi. Bit of a mixed bag today with her runners. Some excellent scores, some slightly questionable misses. But still, on balance, a fantastic performance from her so far. Just a couple of really minor slip-ups, but I think it's fair to say that everyone does have them occasionally. Toby Clark, huge play there off the bounce. Able to pick up. Give Tigers that attacking opportunity once more. Shot from Leah from deep. Again, just seems to be hitting the back of the court a lot. Maybe just a little bit too much power. Everything else is pretty much dialed in perfectly. The trajectory is brilliant. Again, just that little bit too much power. There's the chance for Kieran Hicks to fling it with the one-hander off to Billy Ashby. But the post, the mythical fifth player, once again makes an appearance to put a stop to that particular play. Attempt there to try and get the ball on the inside to Chris West. Andy Hall, though, well aware of that particular tactic. Going to be able to block that out. Beck are putting on a pretty convincing showing, I think it's fair to say. As Heather Rukumisi takes the one-hander. It's a miss. We will add it to our tally. Gets the return shot. That just bounces out. 0 for 2 on that play. And adding to our one-handers miss total. 8 so far, 1 scored. Or rather, sorry. 8 missed, 1 scored. I think I may have got my numbers muddled somewhere. Yeah. That's a beautiful shot from Leah Matthews. Finally finding her groove. Can she maintain it? Another substitution being made. Jess Bennett brought on for, I believe, Helen West there. And Andy Hall going to make quick work of that one. 20-11. I believe we currently stand at. The table's showing me something different. Great switch from Heather Rukumisi. Travel called. And Beck able to retain control once again. That's a bit of a fumble from Jess Bennett. And Josh is able to turn around on that one. So Tigers now in with an unexpected opportunity. Can they make something of it? Here's Daisy. Trying to look aggressive against Heather Rukumisi, who we know can put on so much defensive pressure. But Toby Clark with the hustle. There's the call for 10. Josh going to launch that one. Toby Clark off the rebound. Off to Alex Zenz. Gets the shot clock reset. Goes up with the one-hander, but it's defended. Another one-hander missed. Bringing our total to 1 scored for 9. Or for 10 taken, rather. It is currently... table is saying 21-11. I don't know if I've missed a goal here. Maybe they're counting ahead of me. There's the look from Blake. Chloe trying to get the feed in. But Andy Hall going to have to back off on this one. There's the runner from Blake Palfreeman. Just bounces off on the outside. Jess Bennett off to Andy Hall. There's the stop. The step back or drop off. One of the two. But Leah Matthews able to wrestle that one out of the air. And now Tigers going to be pushing on that offensive. Toby, again, still so much energy for the Tigers side. They just need to direct it slightly. And that's such a clean shot straight through the hoop. Substitution made. Ross Thompson coming on for Chris West. I believe I may have fumbled the scores ever so slightly. It's 21-11 as we currently stand. The table is telling me. Travelling called off the attempt there from Kieran Hicks. Not happy with that. But such are the rules. Leah Matthews looking for the drop in. The feed is getting blocked off so well. There's the shot attempt made possible. Ross Thompson. Could he be the change Tigers need for the rebound? Chris West making that substitution. Is it going to pay off? So far, looking slightly more convincing under the post. Francis Willerton, though, getting completely blocked out by Jess Bennett, using that height. 8 on the clock from the reset. Need a quick shot. Beck applying so much pressure off the back. There's Rory having for the step back. He makes it! Rory playing against the clock. 21-12 now. Tigers put an extra 4 on their last game performance. That's going to be a confidence boost no matter what happens. And Beck haven't exactly shot off into the distance like they did last time. Free pass is going to be awarded. I believe there was a contact on the arm somewhere. Amy Swain just going to drop off. Going to leave the space free. Tigers fans not happy. Come on, Jerem. You had the PSA from last time. That's a one-handed scored from Kieran Hicks. They've just got the scores model. I think he's just going to go check with the table. Didn't spot the swap there. Nope, 22-12. That's what I've got. Andy Hall just putting on a bit of a pantomime for us there. Well, Tigers, a considerably better performance than their last showing, that's for sure. Can they make it any better? Beck have been slightly down from where they were last time. 36 goals in their last appearance versus Tigers. Only 22 at current. Shot goes up from Chloe Swain. Andy Hall fights to the rebound. Blake Palfreeman not going to shoot. Fakes it deep. Gets the one-handed swing to Andy Hall. Andy Hall for the inside runner. Oh, Francis Woolerton put the hand up on accident. Andy Hall went charging on through anyway. Scored it. Beautiful finish. Penalty awarded, but goal was good. So no need to take. 23-12. Josh Dawes puts one up. Rebound safely collected by Toby Clark. These two working really well together as a team. Normally it's Josh and I think Oscar as the staple. But Toby Clark finds a banger. 23-13. Just like Jerem said. Are we going to see a flurry of goals late on in the game? Well, that's one way to answer that question. Heather Akwamisi, no stranger to the scoreboard so far. Fires another one in. 24-13 now. Tigers looking for the quick return. There's Ross Thompson, free, fakes, steps back. It's good! Beautiful move from Ross Thompson. So much energy from both teams so late on in the game. It's just fantastic to watch. There's Blake moving in fast for the feed. Gets it. Chloe Swain trying to look dangerous down low. Jess Bennett from miles out. Beautiful stuff. 25-14. Both teams going hell for leather in the last couple of minutes now. Josh Dawes for the step back. He can't quite find it. It's an air ball. Toby Clark, though, there to have his back. Alex Zenz looking for the options. Here comes Daisy Llewellyn for the feed. Free pass awarded. Reaching through from Amy Swain there. Now, this is a chance, really, that Tigers should be able to capitalise on. But the pass is actually a bit slow. Alex Zen's not quite taking up as much space as she could have, perhaps. And Heather Akwamisi, keen-eyed player, spots that one a mile away and is able to get the early block. Here's Andy Hall. Can he make it good? Not quite. Blake Palfreyman for the return. Is going to find it. 26 now to 14. Both teams putting in a huge effort late on. Substitutions being made pretty late on in the game. Some familiar faces returning to the field. Both teams putting on fantastic performances, but Beck, well and truly, I think it's fair to say, just outplaying Tigers at the moment. Although that is absolutely not to disparage the Tigers' efforts. Billy Ashby going to send it wide and then off the back. Tigers have put in a fantastic showing. Clear improvement from last time. Quick timeout, I believe, called from Beck. There's Toby to pick up off Josh. But no doubt about it, Tigers have definitely upped their game since their last outing versus Beck. Much cleaner plays we're seeing. Also, a much more favourable scoreline from these guys. And they still have chances. There's the jump in from Blake Palfreyman. Good awareness to spot that one coming through. Back now. Have another chance. Caitlin Fitzgerald taken to the field once more. Scores! 27-14. Tigers still trying to find that last extra bit of juice left in the tank. Leah Matthews stuck out the front again. Frances Willerton not going to risk the shot. All the way over the top. Leah Matthews isn't quite able to reach. Beck ball on the outside. Andy Hall using the height there to take the control on that one. Heather West puts the shot up. Dav, great rebounding work. He's back out in full force. Much less of an aggressive player this time. Much more passive role, but still important work under the post. There's the feed from Billy Ashby. Kieran Hicks being taken out of the play by Dav Patel so far on that substitution. Oscar Edwards looking forlornly at the field there, been on bench the whole game. Has had to travel, so perhaps not the best outcome for him. Leah Matthews thought she had it, not there. Beck still in possession. Both teams being remarkably well mannered with the ref so far, which is a delight to see. Some small incidents, but on the whole, good sportsmanlike conduct. There's the shot from Helen West. Toby Clark. Again, we've just seen him absolutely bounding around the field, looking for these rebounds to pick up. And he's done a fantastic job of it. There's the bounce off of the hands of Jess Bennett there. But Dutchie able to regain control just when it counted. Frances Willerton. Shot clock dwindling. Leah Matthews needed to shoot on that one. Shot clock already gone. 2 shot clock violations this whole game. I think even from start of season, we're seeing Tigers play much better to time. Fewer violations in general. from all teams, actually. That's a fantastic progression within the league itself. Is most of the games we're seeing less and less shot clock violations called. Teams learning to cope with the pressure and score when needed. But Toby, again, just done some phenomenal work on the rebound, despite being really outgunned in terms of height. Ross Thompson goes up for it. Is going to have the positioning on Andy Hall. Is going to have that hustle. Can Tigers find another one? Rory on the outside. There's Leah. The quick 1-2. Doesn't get the drop on Blake Palfreyman. There's Francis. Can she make it good? No, just going to bounce out. There's the pat again from Andy Hall. His, I believe this rebounding style is not unique to him. But we have seen him almost cost him a couple of good chances so far this game. Josh pre-jumping that one a little bit too soon. Sometimes a viable strategy. It can lead to really poor positioning sometimes. Especially if the person you're playing against manages to time it just right. Francis Fullerton out front, I believe. Chloe Swain almost got the deflect on that. Leah Matthews sticking on the afterburners, but it's not quite good enough. Jess Bennett with great reach. There's Francis Fullerton. She's free. Can she shoot it? She can. Can she score it? There's the return. And Rory is able to pick it up. A little bit of a scrap under the post. Jess Bennett coming in. Almost got it. Blake Palfreyman has the control. Almost hot potatoed it out of bounds. Able to maintain. Shot comes in. It's good. Helen West putting it up to 28-14. Tigers for a couple of last-minute subs. Here comes Oscar Edwards, finally. And Chris West back in the fray. Going up against Dav. Same matchup we saw earlier on. Alex Zenz just able to maintain it. There's Daisy looking for the feed. Chris looking to put the speed on. There's the switch. Oscar Edwards finds it. It's good. 28-15. Substitute. Josh and Rory. It looks like Josh came off there just as a rotational play. Switching him ends. Rory and Toby putting on a fantastic performance for us today. So very well played to the both of them. And of course, all of the players, both on and off court so far today. Ross putting the pressure on. It's going to bounce out. The 1-2 one-handers from Ross and Josh. Just about able to maintain. And there's Dab for one last chance. I think both teams starting to hit that fatigue. Plays not quite as clean as before. There's Andy Hall. Launches it. Just bounces off the front. Francis Willerton fighting for her right to get the ball. Ross Thompson, I think, almost took it away from her accidentally. There's the shot from Chloe Swain. Completely uncontested. Not going to find it. There's a great block from Leah Matthews. Just as we say they're hitting fatigue, we get some fantastic stuff like that out of the Tigers side. But it has been a long and grueling game. Much better performance, though, from Tigers. Beck having the brakes put on them ever so slightly. Blake Palfreyman for the step back. Going to bounce off the top. Ross Thompson gets the rebound. And the play is just slowing down. We really are hitting the final stages of the game. Daisy with a last minute feed. Going to back off. Still time to work with for Tigers. There's the shot from Alex Zenz. Not going to drop. Dav not going to exert himself on that one at all. One last chance for Beck here. Andy Hall with the feed out to Chloe Swain. Going to try and get the runner. Puts it up with one hand. Tigers ball. As Chris off to Oscar. Alex on the outside. Long ball over the top for Chris. Going to go up with one hand. Penalty awarded. We won't count that as a one-handed miss because it did result in a penalty opportunity. Not going to score it, just get the reset. Can't find Oscar on the outbound. That is time called by the referee there, just at the very end of regulation play. Tigers versus Beck for you, ladies and gentlemen. 28-15. A much better performance from Tigers all around. I've been your host, Alex Carmichael. Thank you very much to our camera crew, the Doors family, and we hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.